Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kenna and I'm a mom of 3 sharing my motherhood journey with you. Today I am here with my friend and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello everyone, my name is Cynthia. I'm a mother of 3, 10, 7 and 19 months.
Who is Kenna? It's been a while.
I know, right? She's grown now.
I can imagine.
Almost 2.
Wow. Okay, so guys, today we'll be talking about raising kids with different personalities. So we all have kids, like we are both moms, and raising them is, how can I say, it's not easy. It's not easy raising our kids, especially because we are trying as much as possible to understand that though these are all children, every child has their own personality. So it's a whole struggle to balance what to do with what child, how to raise this child, how to raise each child with their own personalities. Because I would say growing up, I feel like our parents raised us like, now picking them, these are children, end of story. They were not particular, like, okay, Kenna is the quiet one, Kenna likes when she's treated like this. And we really did not have that. Me being a new modern day mom, I'm trying my best to just try to figure out each of my children, each one's personality, and see how I can raise them according to their personalities while still trying to discipline them and bring them up as one family, not treating one better than the other. That's what I'm trying to say.
So making the values cut across
Exactly
all of the children, yet handling them as individuals.
Yes, not as
need be.
picking them.
Yep.
Mama picking them.
So first of all, I would say motherhood, it's a journey, it's not a destination.
Exactly.
Meaning that we grow and we learn every day. And just as you know, there is no manual for motherhood. It's not like when that baby was born, they say, yeah, discharged today, here's a manual. If the child is angry, do this. Or if the child hits you, then do this. We learn on the go. And I always say this, that being a mother or motherhood is an overflow, or it's as a result of an overflow of love between a man and a woman. You just love that guy crazily that you could not imagine that you will not spend the rest of your life with him. Even though you guys are talking about kids, nobody has really thought about the implication of being parents.
And that's something that people never really talk about.
Yes, it's not like abroad people even say, okay, we're going to start, but we're ready to be parents now.
But my daughter was raised by mistake. It just happens.
In this part of Africa, you just need to find a sweetheart. And then one step will lead to another. Before you know, you have a baby in your hand.
I know.
You love this guy so much. You love this lady so much. And before you know it, you go start meeting in-laws. Before you know it, you tie the knot. And before you could say, Jack, you're pregnant. It's excess love that has led to this baby.
Exactly.
Excess love, individuals being madly in love, that has led to purchasing of diapers. So you see, it's kind of like a extreme situations, but they have a strong correlation. What will happen is that you have a baby in your hand, and before you know it, I know a couple, or I know couples who the one was still 9 months, they're still trying to figure out.
Another one came.
They're still trying to figure out how, hey, mother, father, and then bam, another banger. They're really like, okay, before you know it, now I have 2 kids. Who am I?
I know, and we don't even know our own personality. Before you're trying to figure out,
you don't even know where you're going in this life. All you know is that you love this guy. You love this guy so much that has led you to being a mother of 2. Like, when did this happen? I don't even know. It's not yesterday we're sewing bridesmaid clothes, and then now you're a mom of 2. How? When? How did it happen? I cannot even believe it. Who am I? I don't even know who I am. All I know is that I was in university trying to write project. Then before I know, my wedding is this day, and then before I know, I have 2 kids. So now you don't even know who you are. What is your personality? Who you are? I had to go back to this guy I was dating before I got married. I'm like, who was I really? Because I'm now trying to see who I was in hindsight, and it's only you that can really tell me. Who was that? What kind of person was that? Because motherhood and being a wife can bring out some things in you that you could not imagine. So you can only truly assess who you were before you got married. So before you start managing personalities of child A, B, and C who are totally dependent on you, on your own whims and caprices. You first have to understand who you are. Yes, I used to say this, that make sure that you know what you want to know before your child turns 2, or make sure you unlearn what you have to unlearn before your child turns 2, because the more they grow, the more they demand of you, emotionally, physically, financially, and otherwise. And if you cannot decipher who you are by yourself, how can you even explain to another person who they are and manage their own personality?
Exactly. You have to know who you are, which sadly some of us are still learning who we are.
11 years, I don't know. Who am I?
You still don't even know who you are. And the funny thing is, as you said, motherhood, we learn on the job. We learn as days go by. Even though you don't know who you are, you have to be learning who you are while also trying to understand who this baby is. Because
Exactly so.
you have put yourself in this situation. At least if you are not yet had children, start learning to know yourself. If you don't have children yet, start learning to know who you are. But for those of us who are already here, you have to start trying to figure out who you are, and then you're also trying to figure out these kids, their different personalities, which is not even easy to begin with. So like I was talking about learning on the job, you learn on the job. I did not even know anything about kids' personalities and all that. No, I just knew that I'll just have my beautiful babies. I'm just going to instill those things that my mother taught me that I liked. I never even sat to think like, how am I planning to parent these kids? How do I plan? I did not talk about it with my husband. That's why that's something that we have one of our biggest fights about today, because he has his own different way he thinks he wants to parent the kids, and I have my own different way. So handling all of these things before even getting to understand who your child is, how you want to treat the child, it is not easy. As you all know, or maybe for those who do not know, I have 3 kids, and each of these kids have their own completely different personalities. At least I'm proud to say I know who I am for now, who I am, who I've been for the past months. At least I know, because I'm constantly changing. So I know who I am, and I know how I want my kids to be. For Caden, I feel like Caden, I always say he's the perfect blend of myself and my husband. He is calm, a little shy, but he's also out there. So he's a perfect blend, because I'm the calm one and the shy one, whether people believe it or not. One big thing I noticed about his character is that he's that person that he doesn't want you to scold him. Or yes, you should talk. You don't shout at him. When you shout at him, you have spoiled him. When you talk, yes, you have to talk to him. So imagine me scolding at him. I've just spoiled everything. My other kids like Monique and Myra, you scold them, they'll do what you have to do. But Caden, when you scold him, you have just spoiled things. So generally, I learned that for this child, I've seen that when you shout at him, things go worse. So I talk to him. That's one thing I learned. For Monique, I feel like she's the most unproblematic child. Some people have started telling me that that's your best child. No, it's because she's the one that is not stressing me for now. Like I change. I know that sometimes people change. So for Monique, she's really calm. I feel like she's like me. She doesn't like to break the rules. She's that person that if you tell her that this is how things are supposed to, she's the good girl. I don't want to break the rules. If she's breaking the rules, when she gets up, you give her food when she has not brushed her teeth. She knows that things have to be in a particular order. So I already know that that's how she is, and I know how I deal with her. For Myra, I feel like Myra is still too young, so I'm still struggling to figure out. But I know one thing I know about her is that she's the outgoing one. She's the one that is outgoing. She comes here. When she comes out, you see, she'll greet you and say, "How are you? What's your name?" She's the outgoing one. So I feel like that one, she's completely like my husband. She can talk to anybody. She's extrovert. So I learned how to deal with them differently according to how I've seen their characters are.
I would say being a mother is one of those things that freak me out like God, especially if I'm not getting things together in my own life. Like, okay, if I'm not able to pull this and that, then I start doubting my capacity of taking care of the destinies of other people in my life who are dependent on me. It's not like tomorrow I can say people should just go that way. I'm not doing again. Every day, whether you feel like it, headache or joy or tears or blood, you are their mother and you have to act as such. My first daughter, she's almost 10. She'll be 10 in September, and I would say the child is so mature. Sometimes I feel like, this child, you deserve to be. When I second guess myself,
that's why all women like to have girls as their first child. Girls,
I'll be like, this child you deserve to be parented by one super mother somewhere, especially if I second guess myself and I'm doubting my capacity. So I feel
like that because of you.
Less of a mom. I'll be like, this child, you're too good to be my child. Oh, but then I hear in my spirit that she's okay for you. I sent her to you for a reason.
Exactly.
So I realize now that in her formative years, 1 to 5, there's some things that I just put in place without really consciously knowing that, okay, this is what I'm doing for this child because I want her to be. But once you're teaching her A and B and C, I saw that those things that I taught her when she was 1 to 6, I saw her replicate. I'm seeing her replicate them now that she's older. So she's that kind of person. She has that kind of personality. She's very organized and she's quite witty at school. She does well at school and in life generally, and that's what I'm really thankful for, because sometimes I said, when I think I'm falling short in my duty as a mother, I just see her and I feel like just pulling things around the house. And sometimes she just comes to me and say, Mama, it's okay. I remember one time she wrote a note to me on March 8th and she said, Happy Mother's Day, Mama. You're my best mother. You're the best mother in the whole world. I pray that you have time to relax and rest your brain. It's like she just knows exactly what's wrong at a particular time.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of, so in dealing with her now, we need to discuss, because she's a big girl. Even though she's just 9 going on 10, we need to talk. No need for shouting, no need for, and I see that she's maturing also, and it gives me like, I need to rest on.
I know.
Teaching her how to, okay, you need to, a girl's like this, okay, teach her some things about being a girl, right?
I know.
My middle Henry, he's almost 7 too. That one is all over the place. That one does not care. Come and jump on the chair, lift up one leg, and no strings to anything. The only thing that he holds strings to is his chicken. Otherwise, that's his personality. And then, of course, my last Kenna. You see that there's a huge age gap between Harry and Kenna. So it took me a while to adjust to the fact that, okay, I have a baby now. I have a toddler now. So she's still too young for anything. But I see that she's such a sweetheart. But she's so strong-willed. Those are the different personalities that I'm managing. And you see that.
Why are last children always so strong-willed? They feel that they are the oldest.
I know, right? Very strong-willed and very strongly opinionated, for real. I'm like, this child, when she wants something, it feels like she will get it. And now I'm asking myself, God, what resources do I have to manage this first child who is like this, this second child who is and then this third child who is, Mama, I want.
You see that? It's hard. It's not easy.
Most times I fall back to the internet. I wouldn't want to read long articles because I might not finish, so I wouldn't want to grab a book, but I'm constantly going back to the internet. How to parent a this child? Should I give my 9-year-old this, that? I go back to the internet. I also ask questions.
Different things.
Yes, that's it. Testing and trying. Today you try this one, you see that, okay, it didn't work as much as you thought, or it didn't go well, you try this other one. I'm constantly thinking, okay, this is holiday, this child is like this, she likes to draw, she likes to bake. How can I form that passion inside of her? That's only for child A, you think.
Yeah.
I keep it aside first. Then go to child B. This child likes some kind of, I don't know, that is character he wants to learn. Should I look for character school for him?
Yeah.
Then you keep it aside, and then the baby, okay, this child, by the time she starts going to pre-nursery, what should I? So it's all of those things. So tell me, how do you source information on how to take care of these different children with different personalities?
Like you, I watch videos like this. I watch different kinds of videos. I watch videos on different parenting styles. I try to create my own parenting style from all those. I just try different things, because like you said, there's no manual. No manual. I just try different things. What I try not to do is use one way on all the kids, because it affects them differently. So you could try one way, like I said, screaming. I could try, if I scream at all of them, when I know that, when I say scream, I don't mean like shouting at the top of my voice, because people might misunderstand. I just mean like talking sternly to them. Okay, I'll not do that to all of them, because I noticed that when, for example, you scream at Caden, the first thing that it hurt me was he doesn't talk about his feelings anymore. He'll not tell you, he'll not ask you for anything, he'll not talk. And I want to know more about how he's feeling. I want him to be open. I just do research, a lot of research. I talk to moms. I'm constantly talking to moms. Like now I'm saying, Monique is more like your first daughter. Okay, you can tell me, how do you handle her when this and this happens? And then I try. If it doesn't work, okay, I'll try something else. So I'm constantly trying different things, because I don't want to use one method on all my kids, and then at the end of the day I damage one of them in the process and all that.
So I find myself praying about it, also asking God, Father, please help me to parent these children that you have given into my hands. And trust me, when I'm praying, sometimes I get ideas like, okay, okay, do this, do that. Make sure that you get a storybook. Make sure you buy this storybook and let Henry practice reading this time. Maybe you can teach him, spend some time with him, wake him at this time and this time to teach him that he can do this or this thing. I constantly get ideas like that in my spirit, and I also source information. But I would say that most old school moms, like our moms, because times are different, they wouldn't know a lot about the demands of present day parenting and the intricacies that it entails. So you hear your mom say, "Now let them all do this thing now. Let them all go here like this now." You want to respect your mom, but you will not want to do what you know doesn't work for your children. So as much as you love your mom or your auntie or your big mama or whoever is in the olden generation, filter the information that you receive. Well, not only from them, but from
because I wanted to say that even online and all
yes,
that, filter, don't just
people around. In this part of the world, we like unsolicited. That picking is still use diaper. Because nasty like put us for night.
I know. And a lot of them it's always geared towards violence.
No carrot, always the stick.
Yeah, so for me, I just feel like you said, keep searching and searching while working with the child. Try to get to know your child.
Yep.
And you should also find how you plan to parent your kids. It's a whole, how can I say this? It's a whole journey. You have to have an idea. How do you want your kids to be? What are the things that your mother, for example, taught you that you want to teach your kids? What are those things that you don't want to teach your kids? You want to have your own parenting style, and then you see how you can go through with it, because that's definitely going to help you. Don't just be like, okay, today I saw this thing. You're just trying 1 million things. You should at least have a particular way, a particular way you want your kids to be, and then you're following that while looking for ideas here on how to make it better. Don't just try everything. Today you're doing gentle parenting, tomorrow you're doing this one, you should just you should have an idea how you want your kids to be, and then you work towards that. That's what I'm basically saying.
And an important point to note is that when you realize certain negative character in child A or child B, you should address it with that child. Don't now make it a conference call. You put everybody in. Say, you see what you're doing? I don't want to catch that thing again. I don't want to catch that.
Yeah.
Always walking around.
This fun.
Yes, comparison. Always walking around and shouting.
Yeah.
So if you realize that you have seen this child who is supposed to be doing this at this time, not doing it, call that child and talk to the child. Address it like that. Address it like an issue that has a solution, not like a thunder on top of your roof, or not like thunder on top of your roof, or a big something. You're walking around and calling the child's name everywhere, making the child feel bad. You call the least person that calls your brand, especially when the children are old, above 8.
I know.
They start
even
getting
talking
some
about
emotions.
it when they are there. Like, I don't like to talk about my kids anymore when they're there. Any of them, I don't. If I want to complain to you about kids and his, I'm like, no, please go to the room. Even if I'm on a call, I go somewhere, because I've seen that those things affect the child's emotions.
Yes, that's very right.
Confidence and things like that. The child could just be feeling like, oh, I'm such a trouble. I'm so much trouble to my mom. My mom is always complaining about me. So I try to avoid those things, because those are things that affect the child.
Okay, I explained that Henry, my middle boy, is playful. He's all over the place. Always wants to jump and play. And okay, sometimes he doesn't care about his homework. Do you have homework? No. And then he's gone.
Exactly. That's
why he has
for you.
Meanwhile, he has homework. So how do you do to address that situation now? Is to tackle it, like as I said, like he has a solution. Bring him about, and then you walk it through with him. Because most of us that just like to throw missiles, but we're never there on ground to bring forth the solution. We just speak about the problem from morning to night.
I know.
And then we do not go through with the child how the solution will come about. So
exactly, because
that responsibility.
Like for me, I believe in rewards or holding what you like. That's something that has worked so much for me when it comes to my kids.
Rewards and consequences.
Yes, I know every single thing that everybody likes. So when I see Kaden getting in that mood, or I don't want to do my homework, I don't want to do this, I don't want to.
Okay, no more.
Just like, okay, no more TV. You're not watching TV. Nothing for you. And he's going to run and do it and come back because he knows. And when he comes and he does the homework without me talking, I shower him with so much love and praises, which he's like, oh, it means if I do this, and your kids like when you're praising them, giving them praises and telling them they're doing a good job. Yeah, everybody loves it. So when he sees that I'm doing that, he will start doing that more because he's like, oh, I like it when that happens. When it comes to Myra, I noticed that Myra is in serious competition with Monique. Anything that Monique does, she wants to do it. So when Monique does things like sweep the house, I'm like, oh my God, Monique, you're such a good girl. The next second, Myra is
pick up
sweeping.
a broom.
The next second, so I'm just like, okay, I already know your medicine. So if I just tell Monique, you've been such a good girl today, Myra's like, what did she do? When I tell her, the next second she's doing it, so I'm like, okay, that's how I handle things like
Maybe
that.
let's call it picking up good behavior from the sister.
Exactly.
Competition.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then as you mentioned, co-parenting before, you parent not alone or your parent with your spouse or with your partner. Now you're saying A and then he's bringing B. You have decided that you will not scold this child in public and then you just come I don't see that
I know that's something. That's a huge problem with me and my husband.
And you see, most times when you call them out on it, they're like, "What is this? Are you saying I'm not good for that?"
Exactly.
They start yelling instead of getting your perspective.
So how do you handle that?
So even if you do not want to, most people, or not most people, some men don't even like to be called out. Even if people put your heads over the pillow and say, nothing that you did there. It's not like, because their complaint will be that you were saying it, even the neighbors were hearing, or even if they were not hearing. So now you decide, okay, let's address in the room so you don't have any complaints, you don't have anything to say against that, but we'll focus on what I'm telling you, not the fact that I was shouting about it. They'll still bring up a hair. I know, saying that's how we used to do it in those days, and we're still straight.
That's why for me, now if I see something new that I want to try, I tell my husband that this is what I'm planning to do. We talk about it, so that when he sees me doing it, he understands that it's that thing. Though sometimes he'll still do what he wants to do, but majority of the time when he sees me doing something, like if I'm like, okay, I've decided that the whole of this week we're not going to shout at Caden because I tell him. So when he sees that he's doing something and I'm correcting him in another way, he just understands that that's what I'm doing. He doesn't go ahead. And the days that his heart is sweeting him, when he's feeling like let me just follow what Kena said, he's even going to do what I said I was doing as well. But I just noticed that when it comes to calling him out, I don't even do it anymore.
I know, because sometimes they are defensive. Sometimes they attack they defend themselves by attacking.
Exactly.
Even though all you meant was for a correlation in the parenting journey.
Exactly.
Yeah, because as I say, you don't want to be saying A and then your partner is doing B. It's as if mommy and daddy, what are you even saying? But it's mama who said I should do this. But daddy you said I should do this.
And my children can burn down this house. They know that I'll say no. So they ask you, okay, mommy, please, I want this. No, you can't have it now. You have not yet eaten. They go and ask their father. Their father always forgets to ask them, what did your mother say? So it's just like, go and get it. And at the end, we're going to have problems. So I'm just like, I'm constantly telling him, if they come and ask you anything, always ask whether I have. Because there's no time that that Myra will come to me and ask for something, and I'm like, did you ask your father? You ask your father, what did he say? He says no. Okay, when your father says no, no means no. No doesn't mean maybe. Go and ask mommy. And just means no. Just things like that.
So I want to talk about what if it just erupts. Like, okay, your husband just puts up a parenting style, a spontaneous parenting style that you are sharply against. Maybe he shouted at the child, or he said you can watch TV instead of it's okay, you can watch. Meanwhile, that was against the agreements, you guys' agreement, or probably you guys have not spoken about it, but you've seen that this behavior is not good. You leave it for the time being because that is what daddy has said, and then you ensure that it doesn't continue by speaking to daddy about it. That I don't think that what you think that is like this, and then he'll try to make amends. But sometimes, because my daughter is so emotionally sensitive, like she can sit here and smell that you're not feeling well. She can sit here and smell that you've been crying. Or they can just
getting old.
Yes, they're getting old. Yes, and they are watching. That's why I said that whatever you want to learn or unlearn, learn it. The younger your kids are, the more time you have, because once they get older, there's no way to twist things again.
You
start saying. Yes, like when my dad died, my daughter was like, what has happened to grandpa? I said, grandpa, he said, if he's dead, tell me he's dead. Which one is you're turning around?
I know, and that's what I told my kids about my aunt dying, and my husband was like, he was not okay with it. I was like, oh, I never even think that was probably something we had to have a conversation about it. He told me that he was traumatized as a kid when one of their family members died, something when he was too young. But I was like, I feel that children these days they are really intelligent.
Yes.
They're really intelligent. I explained to them. I told them. So from there now we tell when, like, especially people they know, like my aunt, she was the one that took care of all of them when they were babies.
Okay.
All that. So I explained to them, oh, auntie was sick she has died, she has gone to heaven. And they're like, oh, they felt sad.
Yeah,
That they came. Yeah.
You know how you say it in their language for
Yeah,
them to understand.
understand.
So as I was just saying, that if it happens that there's an outburst of something that was not supposed to happen, and my husband was saying, if this is my house now, I can go to any room without knocking. There's no need for me to knock. This is not my house. And I was like, nah, I don't think they change this kind of thing.
I know, because that's how they go
up in life. Yes. But the mistake I made was I was not supposed to say that. I know that's like
I know.
They were saying it like just a joke. But no, hey, that's not it's supposed to be. But it turned out to be a hit again.
Exactly.
So, as I said, there's a spontaneous release of a method that is not, I think, that is not okay by my husband, and then I just let it be. I'll go back and tell my daughter, you see, I try to fix it in a way, not putting down her father, but also bringing the right way. I merge the two together. I mean, like, Dada did not really mean this. What he said was that, and you see, I just try to pacify it in a way, and she's quick to understand.
And that's why I always feel like, when it comes to if a child does something wrong, if my husband is screaming, I tend to be the pacifier.
Yes.
If I'm screaming, he tends to pacify, because it's not healthy for both of you to be going down on that child. It's going to affect the child. So I always look at it when something goes wrong. If I see that he has decided to handle it, I'm just like, okay, when he's done, I'm going to pacify, and then I talk calmly to the child. But majority of the time, I'm always the bad cop, too bad, because my husband is he's always, majority of the time, he's the good cop. He's always like, oh, it's okay, don't
soft daddy.
Yes, I'm the one who is always.
But they need both. They need both.
Yeah, once in a while. He always gets like that, where he spends like the last 1 week he was home.
Okay.
I was not talking again. I was just like, over to you. He was screaming. I was like, good boy. Because when he goes to work, comes back, he's always like, you're just shouting too much. But when he stays at home and he's seeing, then he understands.
Yeah, I get. So take home points. Know exactly what each child needs, and most importantly, pray for your children, for God to give you direction on how to parent them and their future blueprints. Know what every child needs. A child at 10 doesn't need the same style as a child of 6.
Exactly.
And not the same as a toddler. So as your children grow, try to learn who you are, and then so that you can better understand what personalities these children have, and plow back into their lives as a mother.
Okay, guys, there you have it. We're waiting for you in the comment section. Come, let's talk more about this. I was really enjoying this conversation. Let's talk more about this. Please, people should beg Cynthia to come. I have many videos I want us to should beg her in the comment section.
Next one we're going to be dancing.
Beg her to come so that we can shoot more videos. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this one, and we're going to see you on the next one. Love you. Bye.
Bye.